This episode is brought to you by regret and bad choices.
Are you ready?
Starting now?
Well, now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. Objects, I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
You know, but
You're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies. Right. Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, really, this is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And the funny part was I was going to start off by saying, hey, we're back to normal and blah, blah, blah. It's a Friday night. And then, Mike and I just spent the last 5 minutes figuring out, what do we got? Three Thursday recordings, 2 Wednesday recordings, and literally in the next month and a half. So I don't know. I mean, we're not fucking normal to begin with. So why should this be any different, right?
Exactly. And I'm as we signed on, I'm of course thinking to myself, what are we going to do with ourselves if we can't drink anymore?
Right. Yeah. And it's funny because, well, first of all, I may start, it'll be in our upcoming guest email starting this week, but we've got another author coming on, and
right.
His name is Ian Fee, and I'm going to get the name of his book here as I'm talking. But the way that this all came up to begin with was we got approached by this gentleman, and it's through. It's kind of cool. It's through. There's been 2 or 3 of them these guests. I think it's the authors that come through these. They're actually like podcast bookers, is what they are.
Right.
So I don't know if it's the same lady this time as it was, but they're very nice, very pleasant. Nothing like that fucking a-hole that contacted us whenever that was in the first few months, and it doomed us to failure. 90% of podcast fail in the first year. Fuck you on episode 177, motherfucker. Anyhow, but so yeah, the guy's name is Ian Fee, Ianfee, and his book is called Wild Ride to Sobriety. He's on Instagram. His book's on Amazon. He is on Facebook also. He's got another website that he does. But these are kind of like that. I'm not saying that we won't talk about. We'll talk about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about, more likely. But
whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Yeah. But he's sober. Been sober since 2017, I think. But wrote the book. Got some other shit going on. But and again, this came up, and I'm like, oh, we're good to go for the. I was thinking, whatever it is next Friday, and then I thankfully texted Mike because I'm like, oh, we don't have anything fucking going on. And I was thinking collectively, because you and I do, we chit chat about this shit. And then I texted Mike. I'm like, oh, and he's like, no, they got this going on. I'm like, oh, fuck, forgot about that. I had the reminder set, and then 2 more reminders pop up before I get on here. And then we got 5 different days in the next whatever it is, month and a half,
6 weeks, right? Yeah,
next 6 weeks. So, but the thing of it is, and I'm still proud of the fact that, because easily with all this shit going on, especially with we're going to be, it's a family get together. We're all getting out to Chippewa Lake, where we went for our mom's funeral service, where we all stayed. Same place, I think Jody was able to book, as far as I know, 90% sure. So we're going to be there hanging out with the family, and they're going to be part of the family is going to be there the entire week.
Right.
So, we're trying to figure out what day to record. I mean, that would have been an easy one to say, you know what, fuck all you people for that week.
Right.
But the only difference is we can record on a Wednesday, and why not? It's like I don't know. I'm kind of proud of our consistency. This whole sobriety thing's the longest goddamn thing longest relationship, quote unquote, I've ever had in my life. And we've been doing this thing for 3.5 years. That's close to the longest. Well,
it's getting there.
Yeah, that's 50% of the longest relationship that I've ever had. So I don't know. I'm kind of proud of this whole thing. Our consistency, if nothing else. Whatever comes out of this thing is we may not be proud of, but hey, whatever.
But we're here. We were taught real early on, man, show up. The rest of it will take care of itself. And that's my attitude on this thing.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? We're going to go another episode without begging for your fucking money either. So.
Yeah. Right.
So real quick, our friend Al, from the reason I brought that up is our friend Al from Facebook and Instagram sent a message. He's like, oh, he goes, I think he said just listen to the episode, or maybe I just assumed that, but he's like, so with the whole money thing, he goes, you're talking about, and then he said the name of the podcast. I messaged back and I'm like, yes. And I'm like, I said, here's the thing, I do. I respect the individuals. I listen to podcasts. I don't like it, and the wording and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. But he's like, yeah, he goes, they do that or something like that. He didn't necessarily jump on our bandwagon and say, yeah, fuck them.
Right. Yeah. But clearly it's coming across that way to some people. So, hey, guess what? We're not unique. We're not alone.
Yeah. It was just kind of funny. He picked up on something else of ours when we were talking about something a while back too. So, every once in a while, at least one or two people actually not only listen, but pay attention to what we're talking about. So Al,
damn,
fucking thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, I don't know, whatever, I guess, kind of rolling back to this normal thing. Normally we do a reading, I think. Are we back to readings? Not that we got away from it, but.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've got one.
Okay.
Right. It was, I had marked one the other morning and went back and read it and went, well, that kind of sucks. So I was, because actually I had marked two of them, one in God Grant Me and one Keep It Simple, actually both the same day, a couple days ago. Went back and read them both and went, what the fuck, man? Apparently I wasn't totally awake or something. But they weren't that great. So I was like, well, shit. All right, now I got to find one. Here I thought,
right.
First thought wrong.
Yeah, prepared.
I thought I had two of them. I had none. So I, as I'm flipping and going and looking and I went, you know what? God damn it. So I grabbed Keep It Simple, flipped to the back, looked up, Keep It Simple.
Nice.
And, this ccame up and it's all right. So we're going to use it because I was tired of working at this. So it's January 11th from Keep It Simple. And here we go. If there's a harder way of doing something, someone will find it. Ralph E. Ross. I tried to look him up, and all I got was a bunch of obituaries. So I don't know who the fuck he is, but he's probably dead. All right. When we used alcohol or other drugs, we did most things the hard way. We could turn a simple task into a day-long project. We could turn a simple problem into an argument. We were creative giants in doing things the hard way. We need to change this. We deserve easier lives. It's okay to take the smooth road. In our program, we have slogans for this. Keep it simple. Let go and let God. First things first. And easy does it. These slogans remind us that it's okay to live with as little trouble as possible. Prayer for the day. Higher power, show me how to live a simple life. I don't have to do everything the hard way if I listen better to you. Action for the day. Damn it, we got to do actions anyway. I'll list 3 or 4 things that I do that make my life harder than it needs to be. I'll share them with a friend or several of them.
Okay, so I don't know, right off the bat. I mean, I can relate to everything in there. So.
Right.
There's no issue whatsoever with me relating to the reading. So I mean, there's probably plenty of things that I can rattle on about. But so I guess to begin with, I mean, do you have anything like right now that you can think of that you feel makes your life more difficult? Or
I mean, not a whole hell of a lot. I read that and I was like, kind of, didn't think about it too much, but I thought about it a little, and I'm like, shit, not really. I'm not sure. I mean, clearly, there's a percentage of it that's sobriety. There's a percentage of it just getting older and not, not having the energy to work it up. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are, but certainly not like it used to be, and nothing glaring comes to mind, which is pretty goddamn nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that the same thing. I mean, first of all, when I asked the question, but as you were talking, I mean, I'll go back to my, the tried and true thing that I always talk about is the fact that I worry, about the future. So I make there's a lot of times that I'll make today more difficult than it needs to be by worrying about and thinking about tomorrow.
Shit that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, or shit that is more than likely. I mean, I've got we've got experiences in here too, and sober lives that we've lived for long enough, and whatever. So we're like, okay, this thing is probably going to happen, but can I? The thing that I need to go back to in most cases is if it feels inevitable, where whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be a really bad thing. That there's just going to be a result that I can see coming.
Right? Yeah.
And then I need to look at it rather than worry about it, not really solve the problem, but realize and ask myself, okay, can you, like you always say, can you do anything about it? Can you change it? And
Right.
worst case scenario, not only can you, but how will you deal with it? Because it's going to happen. It's going to be inevitable. It hasn't happened yet, but I mean, it's like the train coming down the tracks. It's like it's not going to go over there. It's coming this way.
Right.
But it just depends on, am I going to stand on the fucking track and get pushed, or am I going to, jump to this, whatever the case is.
Yeah. Right.
And I go back to, once again, it's the job, it's the money, it's whatever it is. And, I write shit down and I budget things out, and I'm like, okay, do I want to take a trip? Can I do this? And then I work it out. And if I figure that this might spread me a little thin, but number one, is it, I don't know, I'm not spending money on, fucking hookers and cocaine,
right?
Yet.
Yeah. Anymore.
I don't have hooker and cocaine money, so it's not a problem. Even if I thought,
well, I do, but yeah, then I wouldn't have money for anything else.
Yeah, I mean, like literally on when whatever time my paycheck hits my bank account, especially on commission day, or commission time of the month, I have hooker and cocaine money.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
If I take care of it right then,
yeah,
I go.
Yeah. I could have a really good night tonight.
Run out the door, go up to one of those fucking strip clubs up the road up here at, fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, and I can have hickers and cocaine. I can have me some hickers and some cocaine.
Well, yeah.
I got to tell you about Kentucky too, because I really do. It had nothing to do with hookers and cocaine, but I had a good time.
Hickers, right?
Yeah, some hickers, but I think that's probably my my biggest thing. Other than that, I don't, because what I'm trying to think about, there's nothing glaring that sticks out, but here's what I know is when I have something come up, because things come up, we still live lives, right? When something comes up, I face it and I deal with it, and I ask for help if I need it, so that the things that do come into my life don't make my life harder. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, yeah, that's just it. We can certainly we're going to have problems, and we can certainly make them worse. And we have, I know I have. But we don't have to do that today. We don't have to make things harder, which is what the reading's totally talking about. You don't have to live that way today, son.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we thankfully are sober enough that we see these things coming and we go, okay, gonna happen. Let's try not to make it worse. Let's try not to blow it out of proportion. Let's try, I mean, and for me and certainly the people that I surrounded myself with back then, enjoyed making it worse. For me, it gave me an excuse to get fucked up, right? Look how bad it is. I've got to get fucked up because this is really bad. Well, I'm making it worse, so I have an excuse to get loaded. Yeah. Well, I don't have an excuse to get loaded today, no matter what. So why am I going to make it worse and cause myself more pain? It's going to be uncomfortable, and I'll be uncomfortable for a minute, get through it, and then be comfortable again.
Right. Well, and the thing of it is, like you said, making trouble for other people and getting loaded and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I did. I didn't realize it at the time, but
Sure.
I enjoyed the chaos. I mean, my life
Sure.
was, if nothing else, my brain was all fucking chaos. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe you do. You feel more comfortable if you're fucking up everyone else's life. Well, everyone
Sure.
else's life is all chaos now too.
Misery loves company.
It's my life was a world of shit. Come on, people, join in, or
Right.
I'm gonna make you join in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've talked about that before, and that was one of my epiphanies of how I lived. Fuck. Yeah, I say I'm a loner and I isolate and all that stuff, and I did, but still, somewhere I'm a human being, and we all want to be a part of something, and if that that something is chaos and misery, and we want to have other people there with us too. And so, like, I mean, that part of us doesn't change. What changes is we want happiness and comfort and security and peace and serenity, and I want other people around me to have that too. And I gotta be a part of that. It doesn't just magically happen.
Right.
Just like the fucking pain and the chaos didn't magically happen.
Right. That was manufactured and built, and I don't know, whatever you want to call it, just all stirred together and shot out at people. But it just made me think about too is that I mean, and I know you're the opposite of this too, or the opposite of that now, is that when and we talked about it openly on here, when either one of us is kind of in a fucked up mood, again, you reach out if you need help and talk to people and all that stuff. But I mean, I try to keep to myself if I'm in a fucked up mood, because I don't want to take it out on somebody else,
Right.
And I try not to, if I am around people or need to be around people, I'm careful with what I say to begin with, and just general life. Thankfully, again, like I laugh when you said we're sober enough. That was funny. Yeah, I'm sober enough to realize that I need to watch myself on a daily basis, anyhow. But if I'm in a weird or fucked up mood,
yeah,
I need to really pay attention, because it's not this person or that person. It's whatever, like you said, I'm trying to work shit out in my head,
yeah,
and then I don't need to blow this fucking garbage on anyone else anymore. I don't want to do
right.
that.
Exactly.
Because then I have to fucking apologize.
Yeah. God knows we don't want to do that. Right. So yeah, right. Like you said, just kind of take yourself out of it until, you can buck it up a little, buttercup, and get yourself in a fucking better mood, or fake it, but one way or another, don't take it out on other people. Yeah. I mean, and it's going to happen but certainly not like it used to. And, yeah, try to mitigate it, man. Cause, I, again, don't want to hurt people like I used to and all that stuff. Don't want to hurt people at all. So yeah, if I'm in a really bad mood, yes, I'm going to isolate myself and get through my bad mood. I know it's going to pass. Cause it always fucking does. But yeah, and if I have to be around someone, I don't take it out on them, fake it a little, and they're gonna, if they're close enough to you, they're gonna go, hey man, and you just go, look, I had a bad day, it's fine, just give me a few. And generally, I mean, if you're really serious about it, 5 minutes later you're fucking better than you were. Right. So so settle down.
Yeah, short story. I had to do a little step 10 thing with my boss this week, and it's just so fucking stupid. And once I tell the story, you'll see how fucking pointless it was to even get to this, to even do it. So again, talking about the money and this and that, I just came off one of the worst months I've had. It was a slow month for everyone, for commission wise and blah blah blah. And same deal, everything I was just talking about, but keep stepping forward on that. But so we work the dialer only once a week. It's these, we can run into, it's a whole pool of what are called second voices. Not a big deal, but they could be large balances, same ones we work, everything in between type of thing. So I came in one morning and or got on one morning and had a voicemail, and I spend the first hour. I work my route. I work my day in a certain way every single day, and the first hour gets me a certain amount of. I get as many phone calls out, go through some stuff, dump some bad shit, whatever. I do a lot of cleanup work that first hour because that sets up my day right.
Right.
Before it feels like before the working world wakes up, and I don't get a lot of phone calls in or inbound or anything like that. So it's some time to do it. So I had a voicemail and I didn't return it, but I listened to it and heard what it was. So I'm like, I can call this guy back. But what it was a one of the dialer calls. So the dialer, they're open to anyone. And we're all calling on them a minimum of 4 different times in a 4-week period. So once a week. And so it could be 4 different reps. So both myself and probably 2 other reps had left messages for this guy called back and basically said, call me back. I'm going to pay it. $2,000 account, $2,400, whatever. Not a big deal.
Right.
So I go to call the guy back at a little after 9. And I look at the case, and one of the other reps had already taken a phone call from the guy. It's in her thing and whatever. She's going to get the payment. I'll go, fuck this. I got the voicemail from Thursday before the holiday. So I'm like, okay, this, I'll get it moved back or he'll give me credit, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm like, is it really even fucking worth it? I'm like, no, because the part of me was like, okay, so I want to know how this is handled because it's never happened to me before. I think I did all the right things. Go from there. So he emails me back and he's like, well, she left a message for it. She worked and she gets credit. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? So I'm like, did you see when the voicemail was from? Because I sent along the voicemail. He's like, yeah, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, a couple of emails back and forth. And now I'm getting fucking irritated because it's just kind of like, okay, so I'm to the point where we talk about trusting the process. I'm like, well, it's only $2,000, but it's $2,000. And I'm like, if I get fucked on one, how many am I getting fucked on that I don't know about? So then that starts stewing in me, right? So that there's the turning point right there. So now I'm getting fucked all the time in my head.
Right. Yeah, of course.
And then, finally, like the last email I sent to my boss, I said, I said, I don't agree with it, but I'll accept it. I said, thank you for taking a look at it. And then he calls me. I'm like, fuck me. So I'm like, at this point, I'm mad. Same thing as I just said. I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, I'm just going to leave it be. I'm going to figure this out in my head. And I would have calmed down. It would have been fine because I would have done the math in my head and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So he gets on the phone, then he's going, he keeps telling me all the shit that he was just telling me in the email, not mean, not bad. He's a cool guy. I like my manager. But then, here's what got to me. Cause I'm like, I said, no, this is what it was. He's like, no, this, and I know this. And he said, well, but she returned the phone call right away and you didn't, you apparently decided to go in a different direction. And I said, you know what? I said, this is getting worse just talking about it. And I didn't say it rude, but I just said this is getting worse just talk because it was every word. And he's like, okay. He goes, then we're done. So call's done. Then I'm sitting there about again half hour, whatever. And I'm like 45 minutes, and then we hit break time because this was again 9 o'clock. We do a 10 o'clock break.
Yeah.
Now it's on my fucking mind. I'm like, you know what? I said I don't agree with it. I have a slight issue with the process in my head. But all said and done, what this comes down to, this little blow up in my mind was probably netted out to be $18. Okay.
Right.
Of money in my pocket. And I'm like, you fucking idiot, So I emailed him and I apologized. I said, if I came across dismissive or disrespectful, it wasn't my intention. I said, I'm coming off, one of the worst months. None of these are any excuses, but I said it hit me the wrong way, and I said I apologize. I said financially it's hurting me, and I said it's making me anxious, and I said I didn't mean to. It wasn't right. I didn't mean to take it out on you.
Right.
And he emailed me back and he said, first of all, he goes, I understand where you're coming from. He goes, I realized it was just, a reaction, but he said, thank you very much for the email. And he said, I'm looking at a couple of things. I'm going to try to figure out a way to, obviously whatever it is, he goes, I'm committed to working on, getting your performance up and production up. So all said and done. And I'm like, so it's cool, but I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, all this shit over literally what it came down to is fucking $18.
Right. So you were making your life harder than it needed to be.
That's why I told it. Because when I said don't need to apologize, then I'm like, oh fuck, this is real life example that just fucking happened.
Right.
Because again, when we talk about it, I mean, I can't just throw money around. I don't want to just lose money. But literally, if I walked outside or I'm leaving for my trip tomorrow, if I don't have any cash on me, I think I had $2. But if I had a 20, and I lost it,
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to go broke.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose $20, but it's not worth the reaction that I had. And on top of that, fucking with the guy that controls my my job. But I did what I was supposed to do because it was on my mind for like a half hour.
Right.
So I did the right thing, and he thanked me for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing of it is, he didn't say, "Oh, you didn't react anyway." But I mean, very, very nicely. Just like he goes, I knew it wasn't just a reaction to the circumstance. He goes, it's fine. He goes, not a big deal. He goes, I understand. But yeah, he just thanked me. He goes, thank you very much, for the email. And because I know people don't just go around apologizing. Maybe it's like, yeah, sorry. Because I know how I used to be.
Right.
So I don't know. I did the right thing, and I think it worked out the right way. But to your exact point, I made my life harder for about an hour for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Oh God, it's again, these are the things that and I never thought in my mind about, I have to share this, or when I crossed my mind, I'm like, this might be a great story because it's a 10-step. But I didn't make a note. I didn't write it down or anything like that. But it certainly wasn't something where I'm like, oh God, I can't fucking talk about this on the podcast.
Right.
This is fucking terrible. No, that's what you need to talk about on the podcast, you fucking idiot. But yeah, so I mean, obviously, keep it simple. I love the term. I mean, it's one of the I don't know if you want to call it cliches or sayings or whatever it is. One that I think both of us appreciate.
Right.
Because it's just straight to the point. Keep it simple. That's it. Fucking keep it simple.
Stop overcomplicating things.
Stop it. Fucking stop it. It was funny as you were doing the reading when it was kept talking about simple life, but we've already talked about it. I wrote down live a simple life, and in parentheses wrote how, but we've just talked about how, obviously don't do stupid shit like I did to my boss, and don't overcomplicate, and don't.
Right.
Just fucking don't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, things are, again, yeah. I mean, my manager at work, my managers, they both appreciate the fact, because I mean, we've got drivers that, blow shit out of proportion and make it worse than it is and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, they got to deal with it. They have to deal with it because that's their fucking job. But they don't with me. And they've both said to me on numerous occasions, you're pretty fucking easy to work with. And I'm like, yeah, well, we're both just trying to get through our fucking days, man.
Right.
I want to get this job done and go home. And I know you do. I know you do too. So let's not make it harder on each other. And,
right.
And they appreciate it. And I appreciate them appreciate it, because it manifests itself in making my life easier, which is what I fucking want.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and and that's the thing. I mean, everyone's going to have their moments, but I mean, I think that I'm sure that my boss's name is Chris, and I'm sure Chris thought well that was out of the ordinary for him. I'm sure it popped up, and he's probably irritated by my attitude.
Yeah.
But I'm sure realized that it's out of the ordinary. But then I'm guessing he didn't expect me to apologize. So I mean, I'm glad I did one way or the other. I worked it, and I didn't. I put right in the email. I said, "This is not an excuse. This is a reasoning behind it, but it's not a fucking excuse.
Right.
I'm not giving you like this. You should have.
Yeah. Right.
Because it's a part of it. Just fucking again. We're still. I'm not fucking fixed.
No.
I'm just most of the time. 90% of the time, I'm fucking far better than I ever was. I'm 100% better than I used to be.
Right.
But I'm not fixed. I'm flawed.
Yep.
I'm big enough to admit that.
Yes.
And who knows? Maybe my fucked up ways can help somebody else. So if I helped you out there, you're fucking welcome. You're welcome. So whatever I just said, don't do that. That's all. That's
exactly.
That's the moral of the story. Just don't do that.
No bad examples.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for allowing me to be a bad example today. All right. So anything more on the reading?
Nah, I think we covered it pretty well.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a tangent and a real life example on top of that was bit of icing or the cherry on top of our little reading. So okay, cool. All right. So, does anyone out there, and I know you know who she is, but speaking of DUIs and bad decisions,
Yes.
does anyone out there know who Mary Lou Retton is?
I knew you were doing that. Yeah, America's sweetheart.
Yeah. Did you see? Okay. Well, let's back up. For anyone who doesn't know, I mean, she was an Olympian, 1980 Olympics, correct? The big ones.
84, I believe.
Oh, was it 84? Shit. Who was it? Why
Yes.
was I thinking 80? Okay.
I
Either
know.
way, I mean, very popular. Again, yeah, like you just said, America's sweetheart. Anyone, just if you don't know who Mary Lou Retton is, you're going to get the DUI story first, I'm sure. But
Yeah, probably.
I mean, she was a hell of an athlete and well known and like America's sweetheart.
Yes.
So I don't know. Whatever it was like it might be close to a month ago when she got the DUI. But they just released the
the body cam.
Yeah, the body cam thing. First of all, when I saw a picture of her, I'm like, especially in the video, I think I saw the picture when her mugshot, and I'm like, holy fuck! I could have been standing next to her anywhere in the world.
Right.
I never would have recognized her.
No.
But then in the body cam, she was wearing oxygen. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I looked it up, and apparently this is only a couple of years ago. She got pneumonia and had some sort of lung damage. So she got herself all fucked up. So that's why she's on oxygen. Because at one point, I didn't watch the whole thing, but she took off her oxygen before she was going to walk the line. And he's like, "You can leave your oxygen." She's like, "No, man, this weighs like 10 pounds." I think it's going to like throw her off balance or whatever. But again, not that that's funny, but yeah, I mean, she was beside herself, fucking surprised when he's like, "Okay, put your hands behind your back." You're being arrested. She's like, "What?" And I'm like, I didn't even watch the whole thing, but I'm like, you probably just fucking reek of booze. I don't know if they did the like breathalyzer. I'm sure they did somewhere in there, but yeah, she didn't seem like she was doing that well with all the tests. I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking way in the world you're walking away from this,
right?
But I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm looking at it. So two things. Well, probably three. Number one, I'm glad it wasn't me. I remember, my DUI and all that stuff, and I remember that and the feeling of it and all that stuff. I mean, like it was fucking yesterday. So number two, I wouldn't, if there is body cam. I don't know. I mean, was there body cam shit in 94? Why wouldn't there be, right? But
nah, I don't think so.
No? Okay. Well, one way or the other, if there was body cam, I wouldn't want anyone to see my body cam, footage of that either.
Right.
But
hate
then
to break it to you, that was 30 years ago.
I know, which to me, that's when I get kind of proud of that. I'm like, it's been 30 fucking years, man. I just didn't, I mean, I've only been sober for 15. I just went the remaining 15 without getting caught. That was the only difference. But then number three, I mean, I felt bad for her. Because empathy for her, I guess. Not even felt bad for her. And it's not sympathy. I'm not, I don't know pity on her. She, whatever her deal is. But, I mean, obviously being one of the, in those circumstances, I know you obviously thankfully never getting caught.
No, they never caught me.
Yeah. But, you've been in a drunken circumstance before. And,
so,
obviously I felt
once or twice.
Yeah, so I felt for her. So I don't know, laughing at her and how she looked and whatever, and I was just like, first of all, I mean, maybe she has been living a fucking rough life over these years, and I mean, she was like this cute little thing. She's still little
pixie.
Oh yeah, but she's no longer she's roughed herself up. That's for goddamn sure.
Right.
So. But I don't know. Yeah, I like I said, those are the three things. Obviously, glad it wasn't me. And I mean, then on top of that, I kind of felt for her. But
yeah.
But the other thing too, and of course I had to look it up because she looked like she was they showed the vehicle. It looks like she was driving a Porsche Cayenne, that SUV. Because I looked at the front end, I'm like, I think that's a Cayenne, and I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, that's a fucking $90,000 vehicle, and she's worth like $2 million, which I'm like, only two, but I'm like $2 million.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Just so anyone out there is clear. If today somebody gave me $2 million, number one, I wouldn't scoff at it. And I think I could probably, if I invested right, whatever, doing the math, blah, blah, blah. And I'm 56 years old. I don't have to work anymore, and I could probably travel and I could do whatever the fuck I want within reason. I could easily live the life that I'm living right now extremely comfortably.
Right.
And probably take that $2 million and have it done by the time I kick, whatever day it is. But so I'm not scoffing at $2 million. But then I'm like, well, what the fuck has she been doing to get she even have $2 million? You know?
Right.
I don't know. I didn't look into it that close.
I don't know.
But yeah, anyhow, so if anyone wants to look it up, it just kind of blew my mind, the body cam stuff. And yeah, she was the biggest thing that blew my mind is how surprised she was with that she was getting arrested. So, all right. So on the other side of the whole sobriety stuff or drunken stuff, did you see our friend Tony P, 26 years?
Oh yes, I did.
Yeah. So and we probably used his full name on here before, but we probably shouldn't. So Tony P is 26 years old. He was one of the guys that well, clearly he's been sober for 26 years. That's first of all. But he was one of the guys that was involved with the Keating Center when we got there. Was he did group. He did group with
Oh yeah. He did group because I always used his line when I did group.
Right.
First week I was there, stay till they kick you out.
Right, and that's what I was going to have you bring that up because I was obviously I knew that he said that. So that was my other question thinking about. I mean, I knew that line would come up, but he was easily could be said that he was a guy that was a huge influence on us, right?
Absolutely.
Besides that line, is there anything else specific? I mean, like that you remember about when we first came in? I've got like one specific thing. That was the second thing, the kick him out type of thing, or stay till they kick you out. But there was one other thing. But any other like main things with him that you can remember, like when you first came in?
I mean, just that he was clearly doing the thing, and it was possible, and he was. And his commitment to service and helping another drunk and all that good stuff, another drug addict. I mean, he went on to, start the Lantern, and that was like 2 years, I think he got that open, maybe even less than that. Which is another sober house here in Cleveland. That's still up and running, it's, doing the thing, man, doing the work, living the life. Yeah. Tony was just a guy who's like kind of always around doing what he was supposed to do. And influence.
Hey, you know what? It just kind of occurred to me as I'm looking at this. He was, and I'm going to say only, he was only 11 years sober when we got, I mean, I'm like, holy fuck, that dude seemed like he was like, I mean, like ages and ages and ages sober when we first got there, right? But I mean, 11 years. Don't let me take away from 11 years, but I don't know. It just occurred to me.
Sitting there with 11 days,
11 minutes,
right? 11 years is a long fucking time, man.
Yeah, it really is. But the and I did remember. I couldn't remember what his group was, but I remember him sitting up on the desk, and I mean, Larry was a friend of his. He and Larry were friends, I know, and,
right.
But again, always in and out of the Keating Center, always there to help. Like you said, a good influence and a Lantern and all the things he's done, for the giving back. But he also was the one that, do you remember he did the intake pictures?
Actually, I don't remember that he did that.
Yeah, here's the only reason I remember that, because I remember when we got our intake pictures done, and I mean his face it wouldn't have popped into my head that he was the one doing them. But when you and I were house fathers, we had this whole new set of people in, however many people were in, and he came in because he would do it once every couple of weeks and get the pictures. So he came in and he's like, where's the house fathers? And I know but I think both you and I were there clearly, and then we're gathering up people, and we were just kind of waiting there. He comes walking and he's like, okay, everyone line up. And I walked up and I said, by the way, I said, I'm one of the house fathers. I said, I'm not, I said, I'm thankfully, I said, you did this with me a couple of months ago. And he's like, no, I know. He goes, I know who you are. He goes, I know your house father. And he goes, cause you know how I know? And I said, well, he goes, cause you actually look sober today. And I said, well, thank you, Tony. Thank you very much. But I just wanted to let him know, like, I'm not one of the guys getting my picture taken today. He's like, no. He goes, I know. He goes, you look sober. You're okay. But just a good fucking dude. I mean, I can't even tell you how many good people we had like that, around us. But I said Tony is one of the good ones, and one of the ones that I think today that we could walk up to him and he'd help us in any way we needed if we needed it. So
right, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, every time I see him at a fundraiser or out and about or whatever, yeah, we always say hi to each other and just, still doing the thing. Yep. You. Yep.
Yeah, and it's been, I can't remember the last time I would have. It's probably a Keating Center event, I would assume.
Right.
The last time I saw him, but I don't remember if I would have seen him at the ice bowl that we went to, or the ice the ice event.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fucking cold. That's okay though. It's all worth it. We had fun. That was a fun day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll talk about the Kentucky trip a little bit later. I got a couple of things I wanna. There was one that I definitely wanted to. Oh, do you know where I think this, I don't know if this came up in a reading recently. The whole John Barleycorn thing came up. It was like in one of the readings, and I looked it up. Do you know where that came from?
I probably, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I know it was a Traffic album. John Barleycorn Must Die.
I did not know that. Okay, so I looked it up because after all these years, again, it was in one of our readings, and I just never. I don't know if I ever looked it up, but so we always hear this. It's for again those who aren't in the 12-step program. I think it's probably used more in the 12-step situation. Maybe not. Maybe in other circumstances. Like you just said, it was a fucking album, so who knows? So John Barley. Let me start over. Take two.
All right.
John Barleycorn was a British folk song that detailed the crops used in the production of some alcoholic beverages, as well as the effects of regular alcohol consumption. Author Jack London also published in 1914 an autobiographical novel called John Barleycorn, which detailed his struggle with alcoholism. As a result, the name became a way of presenting the disease of alcoholism.
Okay.
So I had no clue. I just know that it's always, it's talked about under so many circumstances, and that was in probably 24-hour book, I would think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Barley and corn are both used to make booze, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I never knew the background of where it came from, so it just it interested me. So I hit the old Google machine and figured it out. All right, so keep it simple. This may have been this week. I'm not sure. Today, I'll take an inventory of my actions to see if they are those of a sober person. And in parentheses, do you think your actions are always, those of a sober person? So again, today I'll take an inventory of my actions to see if they're those of a sober person. So I don't know if you want to isolate it to just today. Were you a good boy today, Mike?
Yeah, I was all right. I was all right yesterday.
And that's what, again, always. That's a tough statement. Do you think your actions are always?
I'm all right most days, and yes. Certainly, I would say every day the good outweighs the bad.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Always. No, of course not always.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put that statement in there, because that's impossible. Always and fucking always and never. Those are two goddamn impossible statements. But I actually like the way you put that, was that the for most days the good outweighs the bad. I think that the good probably outweighs the bad. If you really put it on the scale, it would tip in the positive, and most days. Hopefully good solid. Day. Oh yeah.
I would say every day. Yeah. Right. Certainly in the past 10 years. Right. Probably 13, probably 14. Yeah, definitely. Yes. I am a good boy most of the time. Do I mess up? Yeah. That's why we get that fucking 10 step. What's the word in there? Not if, but
when.
When
we are wrong.
Yep.
Promptly email your boss.
There yes.
But yeah, I think, and I come to think of that, I can think we could probably, if we hadn't, every day, if the good didn't outweigh the bad, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that either one of us, or one or the both of us, would have stayed sober if we had whether we could have one day, but certainly not a handful of days. But I think you need those, those every day. The good has to outweigh the bad. It's not that we don't have bad moments, but I just think that's part of the deal.
There's a few days where it's 51% to 49%.
Right.
Those are really fucking bad days. But yeah, it's not, yes, it's probably hovering around 90% and, on an average these days. And that's pretty fucking good.
Right.
I'll take it.
And I can't even think, I was just trying to think of a time, since I got sober that I like really lost my shit on somebody, And I mean, well, I guess there's been a couple of relationship circumstances where, you get, if nothing else, not necessarily an argument, but, you probably don't act exactly the way that you should or say some words or whatever. But again, 90% of the time, I just can't remember. I can't remember really losing my shit on anyone.
No. Right. Want to sometimes, but don't. Those are right. You walk up to that edge of that cliff, and that's when it's time to turn around and walk away.
Right.
And sometimes that person on the other side there isn't real happy that you're walking away, but fuck them.
Right.
If I've allowed myself to be this close to the fucking edge where I'm going to lose my shit, first of all, you don't want to be around me when I do. And second of all, I don't want to be around you when I do. So, yeah. Again, taking responsibility. I'm the one who has let myself get that close. But, why am I allowing someone else to make me that crazy? Right. So, yeah, you're making me crazy, but I'm allowing you to make me crazy. And so let's just stop this right here.
Yeah, you know what? As you were talking about that, I was thinking about the same thing. It's that personal responsibility that that we, regardless of what the circumstance is, we put ourselves in that circumstance. Like you just said that, you're making me crazy, but I just allowed it.
Yeah, right. Nobody can make me crazy unless I let them.
Right. Nobody can make me crazy. Nobody can make me drink. Nobody can make me lose my shit.
Yep.
I am responsible for my own shit losing if that happens.
That's right.
And you know what? I almost forgot that I wrote this one down, but I finished up the Henry Winkler book, which once again, there was nothing, there was everything and nothing to talk about, if that makes sense,
Right.
I mean, for me to like regurgitate back out, it's too much. I mean, he was just, I really, I enjoyed listening to it. I think anyone that's our age or within that, once again, that Happy Days era, just knowing anything about Henry Winkler and the different shows, and I watched him in Arrested Development. I've seen him in a couple other things, and I don't know, whatever. Just it was good. I enjoyed the book, but the one thing that that he said that I made a point of writing down, he said that however he heard this or came up with it or from a therapist, whatever it was, he said one of his mottos is to never finish a negative sentence. Okay. So he said, if you put a period on the sentence, sooner or later becomes a paragraph, and then it becomes a story, and so on. So he said that what he's started to do is that whatever the thing is that he's starting to do, he said that he has to stop and say to himself, I'm not going to allow myself to do that. Like just something as simple as, I don't think I'm qualified for that job type of thing.
Right.
And whatever the thing is, he said, he goes, I don't allow myself to finish a negative sentence. And I thought, that is so fucking simple.
Right.
And because really, if you think about it, in what you were just talking about, it reminded me of it. That's why I was searching. It's on my front fucking page, but I didn't see it right away. But like you just talked about, allowing somebody else basically to get in your head and cause you to react, and allowing somebody to get in that space of yours, it's still your responsibility.
Yeah.
But you allowed in the negativity. So the same thing as a sentence. Why? I mean, I'm not one of those people that is got to walk around and everything's a positive affirmation. It doesn't have to be that way.
No.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. It
Gosh,
doesn't have
darn
to be.
It. People like me.
Fucking Stuart Smalley. Who would have thought? Again, in the last probably 10 episodes, we brought up Stuart Smalley twice. Or 3 times, who knows? But not that it has to be that, but the fact that it goes back to, again, the fact I've talked about before. If I'm living in this cellar where I'm, kind of a negative person to begin with, not by choice, but maybe if that's my mode and I'm always have to kind of work to, just like I got to work on my recovery, work to be positive. Maybe I need to stop. Not that I do it all the time, but I see negative shit in my head all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to fucking go here. It's going to fucking suck. Or this month is going to turn out fucking terrible. Look at where I'm at. There's no way I'm going to whatever,
Right.
And again, how fucking simple. Just don't let yourself ever finish a negative sentence.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
nice.
It's fucking brilliant. Thanks, Fonzie.
Yes. Hey.
All right. We can't top that one on that one. We have to take a break. We
do. All right. Well, we will be right back with more positivity after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, Mike, I have a question for you.
All right. I may have an answer for you.
So if you're one of our fine listeners and you wanted to know a little bit more about the podcast, more than just listening to us ramble, where would you go as a listener? What do you think you'd do?
I believe you would go to SoberNotMature.com.
Ding. Okay, good. Now, next question is, what if you've been, I don't know, seeing us on social media, you've seen our t-shirts, you've seen some of the pictures we posted, and the person's like, you know what, I want to be cool like those guys and get a t-shirt or a coffee mug. Where would they go for that? I know this is a tougher question, but where would they go for that one?
They would go to SoberNotMature.com.
They could do that. Yes, you're right. Because once you're on SoberNotMature.com, they can hit the store link and go to our second website, which is SoberNotMatureShop.com.
See, I was going to say store. I'd have screwed it up.
You know what? The thing of it is you got it right the first time. Everything people want is at, go ahead with the first website,
SoberNotMature.com.
And if you mess around on there, you're going to see everything we have. Obviously, we have our merchandise. See a little bit about us, a little bit about our background. We posted some other things on there, but I don't know. You can even sign up for our email list. And here's the good thing. We barely email anyone ever, so you're not going to get spammed.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That would be like effort on our part, and that's not going to happen.
Right. I have never used our mailing list yet. I may at some point, but that would take structure and discipline, which I don't think either one of us have, do we?
I know I don't.
All right. So just to wrap up here, to visit our main website and get to everything that is us, where would they go, Mike?
SoberNotMature.com.
Visit that today, right?
Right.
Okay, I think we're done. Are you done?
I'm done.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. You did crack me up with the 8. Well, I actually do have some positives. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up, but now that you said positive, you want to hear about my poop bucket? So,
well, I don't know. Do I?
Yeah, no, I don't. My ass is not killing me, so that's the positive result. So,
okay.
But I went ahead and I did the whole thing, and it's weird. But it's
shit in a box.
It's in a container. That you put in the box. So, the easy answer is yes. Okay. The easy answer is yes. So, you mail this, I was just gonna say you mail the shit off, which literally you mail the shit off.
Yes, you
do. Okay. I swear to God, I didn't do this because I didn't have the balls to do it, and I should have. I can't believe I didn't do it, but it was on a Sunday when I dropped it off a couple weeks ago. And, it's
Did
UPS.
you put a bow on it?
No, but it's UPS. And I mean, they have to know us because this company Cologuard, literally.
What can Brown do for you?
That's so dumb.
Thank you.
So fucking stupid. But I can't stop laughing. Okay, yes. What? Well, and that's God. Why wouldn't they have the contract with Cologuard? That's just
why not? Yes.
Jesus Christ. Why are you driving a truck?
Synergy.
Why aren't you a marketing executive? Okay, so anyhow, I mean, clearly they they know what it is. They have to have the exclusive contract with sending these
Sure.
things back, so they get these boxes. So I'm thinking about it as I'm driving in, I'm like, wanting to walk in there and be like, hey, I just got to drop some shit off. I got to mail some shit, whatever, because I want to be fucking funny, but I'm like, I can't. It's just one individual.
Sure.
She seemed really nice. She's nobody else in the store at the time. Again, it's a Sunday afternoon at probably, I don't know, 1:00 in the afternoon. So I didn't dump
no
my
shtick.
no
Dump.
dump my I didn't yes, I didn't shit out my shtick there. But anyhow, so then they're like, oh, you get the thing. It's like, oh, with a couple of weeks you get the results, and I'm like, I didn't know if they were going to just send them to the provider. They got to call me. I didn't know what the deal was after that. So I think it was. I'm pretty sure because I left like at 5:30 in the morning last Friday to go down to Kentucky.
Right.
And I think I was doing my readings at the time that the email came in. So whatever time it was,
Bing.
fucking. Yeah, fucking 4 a.m. I get this thing. It's like, oh, your test results are in. And I'll be honest. I mean, I you're just sitting here by yourself, at fucking 4:00 in the morning, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I wasn't nervous, but then like, well, okay, here, whatever it is. And you open it up. It's like, oh, tests are negative, and then it goes through this long thing about what negative means. I'm like, that's all I needed was this negative.
Right.
But saying that, again, percentage wise, because they can't say that you'll never have,
oh yeah. Right.
Fucking ass cancer. I mean, you can't say that. It's not like, oh, yes, your ass will never kill you. You'll be fine. Whatever.
Clean as a whistle.
Not according to my doctor, because I couldn't have the runoff from my anus into my wounds. So
yes.
Apparently I wasn't clean as a whistle. Why would he know? He didn't look. How does he know?
How does he know? You do a taste test?
He didn't even look at my ass. You go to the wound doctor. It's like, nice wound. Okay, by the way, let me see your anus.
Right.
Doc? But anyhow, so yeah, so I mean, it's all, and then, so I look at the results, fine, then I get this, I've gotten, I swear, no less than probably 10 text messages from these automated text messages from the doctor's office saying, you got test results, take a look at your test results. And it's like, to log into some account through the hospital or the clinic. I'm like, I don't have an account through them. This went through, I don't know, like Doctor on Demand, whatever it was. It was something I was already a member of through whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all I had to do was reset my password. I got in and got my results. But, I mean, obviously didn't hear from the provider or anything like that, the doctor that I went into. But yeah, I mean, that's as easy as it was, literally shit in a box, throw some shtick at the UPS. What will Brown do for me? They send my results off, and they're like, yeah, oh yeah, by the way, your ass is fine. And I'm like, well, thank you. Thank you very much. But anyhow, so this could be our public service announcement. I don't think we've ever done one in 177 episodes, but
no.
I don't know, gentlemen, ladies, whatever age you are, get your ass checked. If nothing else, you can do it in the comfort of your own home. I think if it doesn't run in your family, that's what the lady told me, that the doctor told me, she's like, yeah, you could just do the poop in the box thing. She didn't say that, but but I didn't have to go and get a tube shoved up my ass again, because I've had one of those before. Yeah, that was just for fun.
Right, yeah, recreational.
That was years ago before I had my stomach surgery. Did I ever tell you that story?
I don't want to hear it.
Okay, no, it's just there was a funny part to it, but that's okay, fine. No, everyone else, you could email me. I'll share the story.
Right.
All right. So, but yeah,
Bill at SoberNotMature.com.
It's info at.
Yeah,
I wonder if you did email Bill at, if it would get to us, but I don't know. We only have an info address, but I think everything else, who knows? If you want to hear about it, fuck you. Somebody made a comment to me, and the nurse made a comment, and I got a laugh out of it. So, all right. Hang on one second here. I'll talk about the Kentucky thing in just a little bit. I got one more thing here.
Speaking of ass play.
No, I got out of Kentucky without getting my ass played with.
I'm sorry.
All right. So from Keep It Simple, am I fully using my strength, my mind, and my talents? I will list one way that I can do this better. in this, again, not that it matters when it came from, but I don't think this was recent. But do you think about that at all? I mean, if you're using your strength, your mind, and your talents the best way possible, or areas where you think you might be able to improve. I mean, do you think about that? I don't know.
No, I don't. I don't, because then I'd be depressed. Yeah, right. I'm doing what I'm doing. It's, and I'm doing what I'm doing the best I can mostly. And yes, could I be better? Of course I could. Do I want to be better? No.
Right.
Yeah, Jesus. I'm just trying to get through this thing, man. I mean, I know I wasted tons and tons of time and a huge chunk of my life, and I'm not trying to do that anymore. I'm trying not to do that anymore. But yes, am I trying to be the absolute best I can be? No, I'm old and I'm tired. I just it's the honest truth, man. Yes, I could do better. Do I want to do better? Not really.
Right.
No, I'm just trying to get through, man. Just trying to get through this fucking thing and lay down and be done with it.
Well, and you know what? I actually agree with you when you said no. I mean, I agree with you, and I couldn't read because doesn't matter why I wrote it down. If I really thought it was something to think about, or if I thought the way that you did, possibly as you started talking about it, I agree with you on that because. I don't know. We've been talking about, or it's been brought up a couple of times. We have people on talking about therapy and all those different things.
Right.
And that is, I truly believe that, I'm sure I can't deny the fact that there's got to be some shit inside of me that might need to be talked about. Who knows? I don't know, but it's nothing that, but it's nothing that's glaring right now. Like I said, I'm sitting in a boat on a pond. There's not a fucking ripple on the water, which is not really true, but it is.
Right.
I've got life going on around me, but I mean, I don't have anything going on around me right now that I think is out of the ordinary.
Right.
Compared to whatever we want to call normal people. Okay. So I think everything's cool, but if I sat back and like, okay, what can I do to make myself better? Like you said, I mean, maybe I'd be depressed. I mean, I say it in my lead. A lot of people say in their leads, what do I do today? Not enough. I mean, I know I don't do, there's always more I could do from a recovery standpoint. There's probably more I could do for maybe even my family and my friends and whatever. But the key here is, like you and I talk about, did we hurt anyone today?
Right.
Did we do anything that maybe we didn't apologize for? That's what our 10 step is for, or having to, get circle back with an email to our boss.
Right.
But those are the sort of things that really make sense. So do I really want to fucking sit down and try to figure out how can I be a better person if I know for a fact I'm not the best person in the world, that much I know.
Right.
But I'm not out hurting anyone today. And I think I'm probably a positive influence, at least a positive, God, how do I put this? A positive glow on people. And I don't mean that in a fucking weird way.
Right.
I'm doing things that bring out positive to people rather than negative. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When I said glow, I'm like I'm some. Oh. That's not me. That's not what I meant.
No. Right. My lightning aura. Right. Again, am I being the can I fucking go back to school and improve and be fuck no, I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm old. I'm tired.
Right. Yeah, I mean, literally, I want to do less, right? I mean, this is the honest to God's truth. I want to do less and either make the same amount of money or more. But I want to have less responsibility.
Yep.
And I want to put forth less stress and less effort. And that's the only thing that, like, right now with this job that I have, even though the ups and downs like that, I mean, I've been around this fucking industry for 30 plus years,
Right.
I understand it. And it does get stressful. The constant, it's competition in my mind, if nothing else, with myself more than anything else. And there is a certain part of me at this time of my life where I don't want to chase this shit anymore. I just don't, I don't want to do that. Okay. But it's not terrible. If there's something I could do that would have, and I mentioned this before, maybe have, I don't know, I felt better about, something that made more of a, I don't know, an impact. I don't even know if that's the right way to put it. Would I do something else that could be less stressful, that maybe gives me more of a reward? I don't know, but one way or the other, I mean, like to your point, I could go out tomorrow and I know for a fucking fact I can get a management position. I know I can. I don't know what it would be or where I would be. But maybe I could make more money, probably. Maybe I could be fully remote, because there's a lot of managers and supervisors these days that are. But you know what? That's gonna. Then I got to carry around my this fucking work baggage with me all the time.
Right.
I like the fact that when I'm fucking done with work, I'm done.
Right.
That's it. I don't have to worry about getting emails from people or fucking text messages. I don't have to work late. I don't have to start early.
Yeah.
To the contrary, I'm not allowed to.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
right. Yeah. I mean, that's same with, right. Like me too. I mean, I could go, be an Uber driver, except I can't, because that's, being a professional driver, they'll fire my ass if they find out I'm doing it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a big one. I mean, yes, I could get off work and go work some more doing something else. There's no fucking way I'm doing that.
Right.
Yeah. I could go back over the road and make more money, but then I wouldn't be home every night. I wouldn't have, enjoy my fucking life. I mean, I'm still doing, 10, 12, sometimes 14-hour days, sometimes 8, occasionally a 7 in there once in a while. Had one earlier this week. That was nice. Yeah, but I mean, I work 10 hours a day. No lunch break. I don't take an hour for lunch. I don't take a lunch at all. I work for fucking 10 hours. Yeah, again, I could work more. I don't want to. I'm fine. My bills are paid, and I'm not losing any weight. I'm okay.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't even know what was the question again. I don't
I
remember how we even got it.
Could we be better?
Was that what it was?
I don't know. No.
Yeah, am I using my my strength, my mind, and my talents? Okay, yeah.
Yes. No. But that's a choice.
Yeah, no, but I don't care.
Care.
I just say I want to do less. And seriously, I wish there was a way that I could, and this would be like anything else. I mean, I got nothing to complain about. A friend of mine on Instagram, I don't know, remember what we messaged about something and whatever, and she's like, yeah, I just told a friend of mine what you get to do, the fact that you work remote and go to different places, and the person's like, yeah, it's kind of cool. And I said, you know what? I said, here's the problem. I said, I still complain every once in a while because I can't do it more, which is fucking stupid. But I said, I am grateful for what I'm able to do in the position that I'm in.
Right.
I mean, yeah, would I like to do more? Of course I would. But again, this patience, I waited, it took 5 years to get to the point to do it. I've been doing it for a year and year and a couple of months. And already, I mean, I've seen more shit in the last year and a half than I've seen all of my adult life.
Right.
I mean, and that's a fucking fact, We never went on vacations across the country or anything like that. I don't begrudge our family or our parents or anything like that.
Right.
We did things. We did camping. We went and saw family. We did, went to amusement parks. I mean, I've been to Niagara Falls a couple of times. We went on reunions, upstate New York, these sort of things, I just didn't get to go to all the places that I've been. So, I mean, seriously, when I think about it, I'm like, I got nothing to fucking complain about. Plus if I pushed it too much now, then, like you said, my bills are paid. Well, they wouldn't be.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Back to the hookers and blow.
Right.
Yep.
It always goes back to hookers and blow. Hookers and blow, huh? I think I told you this before, probably as that when it was happening, but right after we got sober, those first few years, that's when, Derek had his braces and stuff like that. And, I would get, when I started to make decent money and, obviously my bills were still relatively intact and all that stuff. And it's getting decent tax return or tax refunds and whatever. And whatever it was like 3 years in a row, that I remember Dawn either calling me or, the one time she sent me an email. I think she called me the first time when he was first getting braces. She's like, "This is what it's going to be, but this is how they'll do it. We each got to come up with," and whatever it was, $400 or $500, $600 a piece. And I said, you know what? I said, it's kind of funny. I'm like, I just filed my tax return a week ago. I'm like, I get a refund. I should have it within like 7 days. She's like, oh yeah, his appointment's not for another 2 weeks. I'm like, perfect. And it happened. It was just every year for like 3 years or 4 years. It was around, tax time like that. And as it was coming up, and I ended up, there was like one, because again, and I've said this before, and I'm only saying this for one reason. I did it because I owed,
Sure.
She never asked for it, but I paid the entire amount one year, whatever this lump sum thing was, because I owed, I owed because of all the things that she did and all the money she spent on him and never asked me for a dime, or I'd chip in here and there. It doesn't matter the justification. I did it not for kudos or anything like that, just because it's an obligation. But she thanked me for it.
The right thing to do. Right.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And but I remember calling her like the one year, and I said, I just got my tax refund. And I'm like, if you got anything you need money for, I said, you better take it before I
Now's
spend it
the time.
Yeah, like you better take it before I spend it on hookers and blow. And she laughed the first year, and then after like year three, she's like, go, okay, got my tax refund. She's like, I know, hookers and blow, yeah, everything's good. She's like, go have fun. And I'm like, really? I'm like, there's nothing. Ooh. There's nothing. But yeah, she got, again, my shtick. She just knew it was coming. It's semi-predictable. So semi-predictable. All right, so God grant me from God knows when. It was talking about making friends in early recovery. And my question was that a concern for you when we first got sober, figuring out what type of friends you would have? I've got a second question in there, but that one first. Was that even on your mind about, making friends or what type of friends?
No. Still not.
No, I know. It's just, to this day, I don't care. People, I get along with who I get along with, type of thing. I don't look for a specific group of people.
No.
I just didn't know about to begin with. I didn't either. I knew the people I couldn't hang out with.
Well, yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's the same as, kind of before the disease really took hold of me, like in high school, right? I hung out with all the groups, not jocks too much, but certainly the girls that hung out with jocks, and and band and art and choir and nerds and stoners, and I had groups in every, I hung out with everybody, man. But again, it's kind of two kinds of music, good and bad, two kinds of people, good and bad. I don't give a fuck. And that's kind of how it's always been. So I sort of got back to that, in sobriety. It's like, I don't give a fuck, what your background is. Well, clearly, take a look at the two of us.
Right.
It's just, I want to hang out with people that are decent, and, I'm not going to cause any trouble, and they're not going to cause any trouble.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny when you were saying that, the different groups of people. I'm like, that's literally the mix of people that we have as friends. I can't really label every person in our group of what their background is, but you figure the people that we either have as friends or have had, as decent acquaintances and friends over the years. That's what it is in this whole thing. We have this alcoholic, drug addict thing in common, and you just said it. You and I are a great example of that. We've said it before. No way in the world we ever would have met, or ever would have gotten along, let alone, ever met. But then, if you look at, all of our friends, I suppose if we were sitting around in a group, maybe we look like we belong together. Maybe we don't. I don't really, probably not, but I don't even, I never even pay attention to it.
It's not a consideration.
Anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was it. We had a guest on the one time, or we were talking to somebody about something, and we started talking about the female friends, and I had to sit back and think. I'm like, God, yeah, we do have a lot of female sober friends,
right?
And then thinking about people with different lifestyles. I'm like, we've got a lot of friends with a lot of different mixed lifestyles, which I never think about until I think about.
Right.
I don't give a fuck, but it's just when
exactly.
It's like somebody asks a question, you're like, oh yeah, well, I guess There's a lot. We got a lot of chicks in our group,
Right?
fucking badasses is what they are. But
Mm-hmm.
and again, a lot of just mixes, backgrounds, and all that stuff. But yeah, it just made me think about that. That is literally how it is these days, and I just didn't know if I didn't think about the friend thing to begin with. It literally never even crossed my mind. I
No.
just didn't know if it did more with you at all.
No,
Or
not at
clearly
all.
not.
Nope.
Not at all. Which is that's pretty much about how it was. Okay. All right. So I just got to tell you these couple of things about Kentucky. First of all, it's I know you've been through Kentucky. Have you spent any time around with driving through, except for driving through in
I
general?
mean,
No.
yeah, I spent quite a bit of time down there, working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's I've driven through. I know, obviously going to places I've been. I mean it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's I mean I the people I ran across, everything was nice. Lots of mullets, lots of dudes with mullets and either dirty or no t-shirts on or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Lot of pickup trucks, which
Yup.
again I run into in a lot of areas. But so the road that this place was on. First of all, this place was wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was really nice. Kind of just a nice setup, and right across the street from the creek, and very quiet. The thing of it is that it freaked me out the first time when they came through because I was actually in the house. I'm like, what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck is that? It's like you're like running like shit running through because I was there for like 3 hours and not even fucking nothing came through, no cars, no
Right.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And what it was these big, literally like car sized dune buggies. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
what I mean with the
Right.
roll cages and everything.
Uh-huh.
And it's like four of them would ride through, on the road, just buzzing down the road. And
Right.
I'm like, and then you'd see other ones that, I was only there for basically 2.5 days or a day and a half. I'm sorry. So they must rent them somewhere around there, and there's got to be trails that people go on. But yeah, they buzz up and down there because it looked like tourists, not locals. I guess is the best way to put it.
So they had shirts on.
Yeah, they had clothing on. Yeah, they had clothing on, no mullets and all that sort of stuff. But but this road, it's like when you come off like one of the main ish roads getting down in there, you take a left on there, and then it's a good 3 miles in until you got to the place. And she gave me a heads up as far as that might be hard to find, and Google pinned it at a certain place, and I always do a street view to wherever I'm going to kind of get in a rough sense of an area, and I couldn't see the place. And then when she did the pin, which was Apple, so I couldn't map it exactly because it's an Apple pin, but I saw roughly a landmark on there. So what I did, I just hit Street View and cruised up the road and figured out where it was. I'm like, oh, all I got to do is keep going another half a mile, and there it is. So I didn't have any issue finding it. But then going the other direction. So when I went to the place that I went to, the trails and stuff like that Red River Gorge, I had to go out the other way. So it's basically the road that I was on is about 6 miles long, with just, basically main exits on either end of these 6 miles. You can see some side roads kick around here and there, but I don't know where the fuck they go. But
You
I mean,
don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, and it was, I mean, a couple of, I'd say, same as a lot of the other areas that I've been to. You see some mobile homes, you see a couple of rundown things here, you see a decent house here and there. Wasn't a bad area. I never felt unsafe or anything like that. But it was funny when I was going either out or back to Red River Gorge. A lot of people on four-wheelers, and because, again, these, fucking dudes with their, mullets and their either, dirty T-shirts or whatever cruising down the road on their four-wheelers. And then coming out when I left, it was, mapping me out because again there's only two ways out of here, right? Maps me out, has me take a right, whatever, and I end up in like this, it seemed like this, kind of take a left on this road. I'm like, where the fuck is this maps taking me? And again, I'm right behind this fucking dude with no shirt and a fucking four-wheeler, and I'm like, oh fuck, just let me through. I'm like, I don't know who you are, what you're doing. It's kind of buzzing on through. But it was really, it was nice. I would love to go back down there because the place that I went, I mean, I really only had time. I mean, I hit, like 2 trails, and I probably walked 7 miles, on these 2 trails. But I only had Saturday,
Right.
But it was nice. But I mean, they weren't really, they weren't kidding when they said out in the middle of nowhere. Like one time
Right.
when I was going out, I mean, I'd run across like this little fucking rundown gas station or something like that. You weren't close to like any towns or anything like that had anything of any substance. But oh yeah, no cell phone service where I was, but obviously you got Wi-Fi, in the house. But
Right.
I had a great time. But yeah, it just kind of cracked me up with the fucking four-wheelers. And yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, you can see this is Kentucky. This is
Yes, it
absolutely
is.
Kentucky. Last quick question. We were talking about truck stops and all this shit a while ago. Did we talk about Buc-ee's? Have you ever been to one?
I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
Okay. And I run past them every once in a while. It's I want to stop just to see it. They're supposed to be just, huge,
Right.
huge and kind of like the world's largest truck stop type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
But when I was coming back, I think this was in like Southern Illinois. I
Right.
swear to God, because there's a Buc-ee's off it'd be on the east side of the street, whatever highway I was coming up. There were people getting off the exit, and it looked like sometimes you see traffic backed up trying to get into like Six Flags, like Great America.
Right.
That's what it looked like. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, that's ridiculous. I just want to drive in. Maybe I'll grab some gas. Maybe just walk around or whatever.
Right.
But I wasn't sure if you had ever been to one. So okay,
have not.
All right. So, do you want one more sobriety thing, or do you want to dip into? I've got a couple articles that I ran across. Do you want to do one more sobriety thing, or just
let's
mindless?
do another sobriety thing?
Okay. Hang on. Which one was I talking about? Oh yeah, touchstones. Okay. As long as you keep a person down, some part of you has to be down there to hold him down. So it means you cannot soar as long as you otherwise might. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this went into a talk about resentments, and it was my side note was obviously to kind of have a talk about resentments. But number one, the first part about the statement is when you keep a person down, part of you has to be down there. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, yeah, you have to be to keep something down. Part of you has to be holding it down, which means part of you is down there. Yeah. That's just basic physics, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I mean when I read it to begin with, I mean it's a lot of, kind of, it feels like it's talking around itself for a minute, but yeah, I mean it's just basic physics. That's a great way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah, I mean it went into talking about, and I don't know that we've really focused on resentments or dealing with them or that sort of thing in a while. So I don't know. Do you have basic? And I know we both have basic thoughts. I'm just resentments in general. How do you suggest that people deal with a resentment, or how do you not have resentments, or how do you even deal with that sort of thing? Do you think?
Wow, that's because well, no, because I don't deal with them anymore, because I make sure I don't have them. They're the number one offender. I read that somewhere. Right. Yeah. I don't, again, back to the, wasting calories on bullshit, which I just don't do anymore. Yeah. If there's a person in my life that I'm, again, allowing to bring me down, and that I'm resentful. Why am I resentful? And B, why do I have them in my life? Why, if there's nothing I can do about it, go away. I don't want to resent anyone. I don't. And so therefore I don't resent anyone in my life, because no one in my life is in my life for me to resent. Talk about talking in circles.
No, but I mean it makes sense. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, great. If I'm resentful against someone, why am I allowing myself to be in their life, in my life, in anyone's life? Go away. If there's nothing I could do about it, if there's something I could do about it, if there's no reason for me to resent them and I'm resentful against them, that's my fucking problem, and I better do something about it real quick. Yeah. And if there's nothing I can do about it, and that resentment is still there, and I've done everything I can to make the situation better, and I'm still resentful. Yeah, no thanks. Bye.
Right.
You go your way, I'll go my way, and we won't resent each other because we won't be around each other.
And I mean, you made I think the best point of that whole thing is saying that, I mean, you have to be. Why are you around people that you're going to have resentments against? That's the number one thing. We were talking about that in the other topic, but on top of that is, where does really what it comes down to is if we have a resentment, most of the time the person, well, I'd say 99.9% of the time, 99%, the person probably didn't do anything to us to cause the resentment.
Sure.
There's something perceived. We've created this fucking problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why are we allowing ourselves to waste calories, like you said, and build that up? And why are we, if this person does cause these issues for us, why are we around them? This person probably has no fucking clue.
No, absolutely not.
What's going on?
Yeah. Why do I want to hang around clueless people?
Yeah, that's a good point. But even if it's a circumstance where, somebody does something, and let's say they really did, let's go back to the other topic that's a dangerous one, is justifiable anger.
Right.
Let's say somebody actually does something to us that where if we put it on paper, it did the math, anger is justified, but is it worth it in 9 times? Well, it's never worth it. It's never fucking worth it.
No.
And, is it worth it for us to have the resentment? No, because the same thing, that the common mindset behind that is, a resentment is like either holding a hot rock and expecting it to hurt somebody else, or taking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yep.
Fucking stupid, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I tell you, I never realized, I know for a fact, I never realized, I don't think I ever really paid attention. If anyone would have ever asked me prior to sobriety if I had any resentments, I probably would have said no.
Right.
Because I didn't really understand what a resentment was. I mean, that sounds ignorant, but
No.
I don't consider myself to be stupid, but I just I don't think I looked at everything that I was angry about, or every individual that was causing me harm, quote unquote, was justified and justifiable anger.
Sure.
And so I didn't have any resentments. These people were fucking with me.
And
that's why I felt that way. So fuck them.
Yeah. Again, back to personal responsibility. It's all their fault. They're all controlling me and all that. Right. Lack of power is my biggest fucking problem. No, I got plenty of power today. Right. Because it's all my fucking fault. All of it.
Right. Yeah. It's one of those things where, like you hear people say how nice it would be to be, blissfully ignorant at certain times. But I'm so glad that I'm not blissfully ignorant when it comes to that shit anymore, because you just don't realize the amount of turmoil that you're causing yourself. Stress and sleeplessness. And again, you look at, I don't know. I think that both of us have aged quite well in the last 15 years compared to if we would have lived, how we would have aged, and it's not just the booze, the booze didn't help. But I mean, you take a look at stress wears on the body, and anger and all the sort of things. And, that causes lack of sleep, and it can literally cause health issues. And God damn, man, I do not want to live that way.
No.
It bothers me to this day if I'm, and it's rare that I can't sleep. But if it happens, usually it's because of something. It's a good thing. I'm going someplace and I'm excited,
right.
like a fucking child. I get to open presents in the morning.
That's right.
Santa Claus is coming.
Yay.
But it's usually not that I'm stressed out over anything, because that's when I do the fucking inventory at night. I get rid of this shit. Take care of this fucking garbage so I can sleep. And the only time I wake up is when I gotta pee.
Yeah.
God damn it. But yeah, okay. So I like that. There was another one from Touchstones. Fuck the articles. I'll take a peek, and there might have been one funny thing that I wanted to bring up in there, but I was coming across and I saw this other one by Touchstones. Spiritual progress is made by pushing aside busyness and efficiency. We become receptive to inspiration by allowing empty spaces in our lives, some solitude and idleness. Mike, you can speak to this. It's literally why I remember why I wrote this one down, because I'm like, ooh, that's my friend Mike.
Yes, right. Exactly. I I seek, I crave dead times. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. I mean, there's clearly things I have to do and whatever, but I mean, if I get, lately it's been like Saturday mornings, I wake up and I don't do shit. Right. I don't for like 3 hours. I mean, I'll turn on the TV maybe, but that's like probably 45 minutes after I'm up. I mean, I get up, I do my readings, I do my stuff that I usually do, and then I just sit, scroll on my phone a little, dick around, whatever, but just, quiet and time to myself and nothing to do. It's fucking wonderful. Fucking 11 o'clock noon rolls around and like, fuck, all right, I guess I'll start doing something.
Yeah.
But it's nice, man. Yeah. I don't get enough of it, but who the hell does? I'm an addict. I always want more. I want more of that good stuff. And the good stuff for me today is quiet and peace and nothing to do.
Well, and the thing, and I thought about it the other day because with the hobo website and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got actually I went in to start writing an article on one of the trips. I don't know, a few weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked, I'm like, oh fuck, I started a different one here, like a month ago.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I just haven't devoted the time to it because,
right.
Everything, not everything, but things are busy. And sometimes I'm like, I just want to do that. I want to sit down and, just watch TV. And that's, there's a certain time of night, usually around 7-ish, 7:30. I'll sit down and I'll watch TV for an hour and a half, maybe. Right. And then, I start getting myself ready for bed and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I get plenty of, if I consider driving, the driving that I'm doing to be relaxing-ish. I can listen to podcasts, right. I can listen to music, I can do nothing. Right. I can think about shit if I want to. I can't, it's not like I physically do anything, but it just, right. It's just idle time sort of,
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff's fine. But, I thought about it the other day. I'm like, for me, because I enjoy writing and I enjoy, doing this stuff, it's doing these articles or these shit for the website on these trips I've had.
Right.
It's enjoyable and it's fun to relive it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Right.
And to put it down on paper. And I mean, again, same thing as like with the shit that we do here. I don't know if anyone reads this stuff. I mean, I can see the stats. I mean, I can see what it is. I don't get a lot of traffic or anything like that. Maybe some of the people read the posts on, through Instagram, whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. It is a bit writing and doing that. So it's a creative thing that is kind of therapeutic, I guess, for me. So that would be part of that part. I mean, it's not as much, I don't consider that to be busyness. I don't consider it to be work,
Right.
It is that solitude for me to do something like that. Cause I can get lost in a creative thing,
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, the sitting around stuff, even on weekends when I don't have any place to go, it always seems like I got something to do. I don't know what the fuck I got to do.
Right. Yeah.
I guess I have something I have to do. My days get kind of filled up, but
yeah. Right. Laundry, mow the lawn.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, whatever. And Kathy, a lot of times mows the grass, I mean, because I haven't been around all that much, but,
right.
And then I get kick around every once in a while, and sometimes she's doing other shit and whatever. And she's like, I'm going to go cut the grass. I'm like, oh, okay, go cut the grass, so,
yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's making the most of, like you said, having the time and taking the time and sitting around and do nothing. I mean, you're not hurting anyone, so what the fuck?
Right. Yeah. And I'm not shirking responsibilities and,
right.
Yeah, exactly. But it's nice to carve out that time to have nothing to do. It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. All right. So this isn't really an article. I just said, did you hear about the couple that got accused of having sex while driving a stolen RV?
No.
I just thought maybe you heard about it. One of your kicker stories. The bottom line is, gotta fucking redirect. I don't know. I just heard this today. So a couple accused of having sex while driving a stolen RV. So that's what it was. It was in Bluefield, West Virginia. Apparently, I mean, both of them, completely naked in this fucking stolen RV, and dude's driving and chicks, obviously on top of him. They get pulled over, and they must have switched drivers as they were getting pulled over for some stupid reason. Because maybe the chick didn't think she was drunk, but they both got DUIs, found drug paraphernalia, prescription drugs that they didn't have prescriptions for, all this different shit. So, I mean, completely fucked up, but yeah, they were trying to get, have sex in a stolen RV driving down the road. So I don't know. My thought was, boys and girls, first of all, if you're going to steal an RV, probably not the best thing in the world. Maybe you're not making good choices. But why don't you pull the RV over and just fuck in the RV? Why do you have to drive?
Well, I mean, because that's boring.
Okay.
It's not enough.
Well, okay.
Right. I'm going to steal an RV, get high, steal an RV, get higher, and then fuck while you're driving it. I mean, yeah, hookers and blows, boring. I
can't, I was just going to say unfortunately, but I am. I'm going to say unfortunately, I can't argue with that logic, because now when you just put it that way, I seriously understand what you're saying. I'm
yes.
Like, oh, yeah. Well, why weren't they? It's like,
right. Why the hell not? Why would you pull over? First of all, talk about wasting time. You could be moving down the road and getting shit done.
Right.
Killing two birds with one stone.
And then banging one bird along the way.
Yeah.
Hello.
And then smoking the stone.
Yeah. So again, I cannot, and I'm not even going to try to argue with the logic. Not at all.
It all makes perfect sense to me.
It does. I do. I seriously agree with you. So I also think you probably agree that we're done, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Then we're done, and it is your turn, my friend.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening to yet another episode of Sober Not Mature. As always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, go out and do something nice for somebody else this week, and don't tell anybody you did it. Now, from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul, from the beginning of time until the ends of the earth, always and eternally, fuck you. Now it's time, kids. It's time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off till you get to a gate with a sign on it saying, "You cannot fuck off past here." Climb over that gate and dream the impossible dream and keep fucking off forever.
There's a good reason sometimes that I mute when you did the whole fuck off thing and you said it loud. You're like, fuck off. I literally laughed out loud.
Yay.
It did. It made me laugh. That was a good one. So one last quick question. What your opinion of Eric Roberts? Any opinion?
The actor?
Yeah.
Isn't he dead?
No, he's alive. He's alive.
Is he? All right. I don't know. Aren't they all dead at this point? Eric Roberts. What the hell is he in that I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, he was in God, why can't I think of the Star 80 was that was his break.
Oh yeah, that was movies. Yeah, right. Dorothy Stratton, right?
Yeah, then obviously other ones. But I started listening. His book came up it was on Amazon. Did this sale? I got it for like $6 or $5 or whatever it was. And I mean, he's yet another one. I mean, ultimately, I think he got sober. I'm not that far in. Definitely problem with alcohol and drugs and this and that.
Right.
But another one was some seriously fucked up family issues and stuff like that. Even his relationship with Julia, I guess I didn't realize they were. I think they might even still be estranged. But
yeah.
The biggest thing that cracks me up is he'll be talking. He's a whisperer at the end of a sentence. Like sometimes he'll say that and she went on to live a happy life because she could. And then he's like oh, and blah blah blah, and I love her because I do, whatever it is.
Right.
But I didn't notice it right away, and then I'm like oh my god, he's a fucking whisperer, which is fine. But it's mildly annoying. But all in all, he's interesting enough to listen to. But I don't know, I just didn't know what your opinion was on him. So
yeah.
All right,
there it is.
Yep, I may have more on him later. So, all right. Anyhow, I love you, brother.
I love you too.
And I know we'll talk soon.
We shall.
All righty. Bye.
Bye. And now it is time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here.
climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.